welcome to Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the But I'm Knitting podcast. My name is Ramona. I'm a knitter from Toronto, and welcome to my corner of the crafting world. So it's been an age. I posted maybe about a month ago, over a month ago, I think, and my plan was to come back within the next week, and it just kept not happening. I don't know if I just didn't feel the want. I did record something, but I just never did anything with it. So, you know what? It is what it is. Let's just get on with it. So, this week, I actually have quite a bit to show. One finished project, two almost halfway done projects, some new acquisitions, and a frolic that I attended. And then some other stuff like that. So, I guess we'll start with my finished object. I finished my scrappy socks about 3 weeks ago or a week ago. No, not a week ago, like a month ago. Yeah. So my scrappy socks are done. Both pairs. They look almost identical, which I love, if you can see from that. I still have to weave in ends. There's lots. It's not until you reach down to the foot when I started putting in self-striping yarn that it kind of got not so matchy-matchy. So this section here, that's when it starts to go a little bit different. So this was the first sock, I remember, because I did the yellow, then I did the dark orange, and then this one I continued with the dark orange and then went to the lighter orange. So yeah, these are my scrappy socks. I really like the way they turned out. I think I worked through them pretty fast, but also considering I'm not even certain if I put it up on my Ravelry page. I don't remember exactly when I started, and because I didn't really update when I finished it, I don't really remember exactly when I finished it. I'm just really happy that they're done. I think they're cute. And I think I want to make some more. Haven't quite decided when I'm going to do that, but we'll see. So let's go on with my current works in progress / new cast-ons. Because the majority of these are new cast-ons, but I've made such progress on them it doesn't even seem like that anymore. But I'll give you my work in progress that I have worked on that you have seen before. And it's my doodler shawl. I don't think I have a stitch marker as to where I was before. Am I in the middle of a row? It's quite possible that I am. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a row. Don't know why I left it like that. Hold on a second. That's the front. Yep, this is the front. Okay, so I can only show it to you in a certain thing. That's the front? No, that's not the front. It was the front before. Okay, alright. I've gotten it now. So I'm only guesstimating as to where I was last time I showed it because I can't really do much more than that. I was probably about a few rows into this final section, so maybe about here, and I managed to make it up to here. I can't hold it out completely because it's still in the middle of a row. I haven't worked on it in quite a few Sundays. I didn't work on it last week Sunday. But I did work on it the Monday before. It was my first off Sunday. And that's mostly due to because that's the time that I had to work on it. So that's what I did. So I'm making a fair bit of progress on it. I still have a long way to go. I already decided I'm going to be doing the picot bind off. That's what I want to do for it. So that already tells me it's going to take me forever to get this thing done. So I can't hold it out. And until, I don't know. Next time I will make sure my row is completed before I can actually get to show it to you guys. All the yarn that I'm using for this one is all yarn that I've dyed myself. I haven't... Is it? Yeah. Yeah. So, that's it for that one. My work in progress that you've definitely seen before. My other ones are not so much seen before. Inside of this, I have my... Which sock is this? My Spock socks. I've done these socks before. Actually, sorry, just double checking on something. Yeah, actually, here's the one that I did before. I have no idea where the other foot is, but okay. Let me just... I have finished the heel on this one, but I have not gone back around yet to do the foot. I kind of put it down for a bit because I wanted to catch up with my other ones. So So this is it. That's what I've done so far on the leg. I put in the heel. I did a fish lips kiss heel. On my original one, I did like a heel flap and gusset. But I decided I just wanted to do a fish kiss lips. The yarn I'm using is one, I can't remember who it's, I think it's by Richard DeVries, or DeVries, I'm not quite certain how to pronounce it. I got this yarn September-ish, I think, at the Knitters Guild meeting. Their Yarn Somniacs had his yarn there, and I decided I was going to try it out. So there it is. It's thick. It's a thicker fingering weight, not quite a sports weight, but it's a bit thicker than what I usually use. So I paired it up with almost just a stick other sock yarn for the heel cuffs and toes. I'm using double pointed needles for these ones, so I'm still making my way through them. And it's coming along well. I haven't started the second sock, still on the first one. I don't even remember what this colorway is called. I probably have it written down somewhere, but I can't find that right now. And honestly, if I put this off anymore, I'm not going to end up recording an episode, so we're going to forget that. So that's one work in progress / new cast on. My next one is, let's see, is this the one I wanted to do? Yes, this is my Tiberius socks. Both this sock and the Spock socks, they're both from Cookie A from her 2013 sock club that I was a part of. Do you have the bag for that still? I think I do. Nope, that was from last year. Okay, I don't know where I put the bag, but it's okay. So, I'm currently at the toe for these socks, so this is as far as I've made it. So, give a better, if you can see the patterning for it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it has an interesting stitch pattern to it. I haven't actually seen it in anything else, but I recently got a book that has this stitch pattern, like this one here. So it's actually pretty cool. I'm actually looking forward to doing this. I had knit these socks originally back when they came out, and the color I had gotten for them was a bright yellow called Ducky. It was like sunshiny yellow orange, like the brightest, not orange, yellow, like one of the brightest yellows you can possibly imagine. And then my cousin's foot got cold, and I had the socks done because this is when I was in Hamilton for a few months. I let her borrow them, and I never got them back. So lucky for me, she is a person who takes care of those kind of things and doesn't mind doing stuff like hand washing. And if she doesn't do it, her dad will do it. So I'm not worried about the state of the socks. Although I should ask her how they're doing now. So yeah. So I'm just gonna do this now. This is actually one of my new acquisitions. It's a knitting sock bag or sock bowl, or something like that is what it's called. This is done by Crochet 1 Knit 2. I have no idea where I put things anymore. I've gotten other stuff from her before, and I really like it. So this is one of the items that I got from her. That was one of my new acquisitions. So knitting bag, I thought it would be perfect. Spock with the Spock socks. Not with the Spock socks, sorry. I switched them out. The Tiberius socks. Next project. This one goes over 2 bags for one reason or another. Sorry, no. Next time I'll sort my things better. So, I needed a pair of plain vanilla socks, of course, to work on while at Knitters Guild meetings and also at the Frolic. And these were the ones that I cast on for these. I cast on all 3 of these socks about the same time. So, here it is. So this yarn is from Colorworks. I had gotten it from one of the ladies at my knitting circle. I don't know how she got it. She doesn't knit socks. She pretty much only does stuff in worsted weight. How she ended up with sock yarn, I don't know. So she thought of me, gave it to me, and yeah, right there. So one sock is almost done. I cast it on the cuff of the next one, and the reason why I did it like that is because, hold on. The main color for my Tiberius socks is the same as the heel cuffs and toes for this sock. So I had reached a point where I had to hurry up and finish off this foot so I can get to put in the heel for this one. And then on Saturday is when I pretty much started zooming my way down the foot, and I think yesterday is when I started to do the toe for this one. So the yarn for that, actually, for these ones are ones that I dyed myself as well. This one was a 60-gram skein that I had of a yarn I dyed with avocado, my first avocado attempt. And then afterwards, this one was, would you call it immersion? I don't know. But it was like my first attempt at doing a teal type of color, like an entire sock weight of teal. Hold on. This is what the cake looks like now. I don't know if you can tell the color. Honestly, I can't tell what other people see with this thing, because for me, sometimes it looks gray, sometimes it looks teal. Could be my imagination. I have no idea. So that's the main color for my Tiberius socks, and the contrast color for my plain vanilla socks. And then I got a bag with little sheep on it. That was also for my crochet 1 knit 2 order. I have a third bag, and I was looking for today to do this podcast update, and I have no idea where I put it, but it was of the Marauders map from Harry Potter. I have to look for it because I really want to, know where it is. I don't like the fact that I can't find it. If I find it, I guess I'll show it on another podcast, another episode. Is that all of my works in progresses that I can show? I believe it is. Okay, so then I guess we'll go into the rest of stash. How do I keep misplacing things? No, I didn't put that in there. Sorry. I had a set of progress keepers that came with my bags from crochet 1 knit 2. And somehow or another, I managed to misplace it. How do I keep doing this to myself? I have no idea. So, hold on. Pause. I figured it out. I left it behind my laptop. I thought I had moved it. So, with my order of stitch markers, not stitch markers with my bags, she also gave stitch markers. So, one of them is an R. I don't know if she planned it for Ramona. I don't know. Not questioning, just liking it. This one looks like it. I'm not certain where the theme is for that one, but it kind of reminds me of candy. Like some kind of licorice type of thing. And then the last one is a lightning bolt. So I got 3 new progress keepers unintentionally with my order, and I'm happy. Put these over here so I don't lose them. What's it called? At the Knitters Guild meeting, we had a D-stash type of event where you could basically sell off the yarn and stuff and other knitting-based products that you want to get rid of in order to, get some extra spending money for the frolic. So I sold off some of my yarn. I bought some stuff. The first things I bought was a knitting bowl. I think the lady's name is Gabriella. I'm not sure. Starts with a G, but I can't quite remember what it is. But I got this handcrafted knitting bowl. Number one, I thought the price was great considering how much people charge for these. So she goes to a pottery class, and this is what she makes. So this is what I got. On the bottom of it, she even stamped it with her initial on it. I thought that was kind of cool. I just noticed that today. Put that down. Being very careful with that. I don't want it to break. One of the other things that I got was a sock blank. It was, kind of broke my not buying sock yarn diet with this one, but I thought it was worth it for this one. So, this one I purchased from the other Ramona. Oh, how nice. So I just saw the handwritten notice to what it's made out of. So it's a 75/25 superwash merino, and it screams Canada. So that was what I got. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with it, but I do like it, and I'm going to just put it in my stash and let it sit down there and marinate. I think it's double-stranded. Is it double-stranded? I thought it was double-stranded. No, it's single-stranded. My mistake. It's something else that somebody gave to me that was double-stranded. So, you gotta love it when your friends look out for you because they know you really like stuff. So, I got this double-stranded sock blank. I haven't done anything with it. I got it the same time I got the other stuff. So, this one is actually made out of, well, it's 230 yards, so it's just over 50 grams, I guess. Yeah, 50 grams worth of yarn. It's 50% superwash wool, 25% rayon made from bamboo, and 25% nylon. It's a Deborah Norville. I've never heard of her, but that was the label that was around it. Somebody. And then this is the yarn that I got. So I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with it. I also got to figure out a way to get it to stay flat when I dye it. Unless I decide to do like a gradient dip dye type of thing, which at this rate seems like it's a possibility because it doesn't want to come out of its rolled up state. So that's that. Put it back in the bag. Sorry if you hear any crinkling and such. It is what it is. Okay, see, I usually don't have this much acquisition to show, but like I guess I kind of went a little bit. No, I don't think I went nuts because for like look how long I haven't had anything to show. So now to the frolic. So first thing I bought while I was there was this year's knitting bag. I didn't get one last year and I regretted it, and I got one this year. So I only bought two things. The first thing I got was a yarn from, it was from, the shop was one that I frequent very often at Bathurst and St. Clair, which, and for some reason, I can't remember what it's called right now. I can't remember. I'll try and put the name on the screen. But I got Mindville wool. Mindville wool. I had used their yarn before for one of my favorite shawls that I did. So I just really like the color, and I decided I don't know what I'm going to make out of this, but I'm going to make something nice. So the color, does it have the colorway on it? No, I don't see a colorway name on it. I just looked at the color and I thought it was really nice. It's got black, it's got grays, it's got a little tinge of like a greens. Like if I open it up, you could actually get to see more of the other colors inside of there. See, it's not just solid black. So I haven't decided what I'm going to make out of that yet. So there's that one, and the other one that I got was Like It in Lace. I've never actually had their yarn before, but this feels really nice. But they are from New Brunswick, so I like that as well. This colorway is called Wildflowers. I don't remember which shop I bought this from, but I basically sat down there, same thing as I did for this, and I just pulled out everything that I liked, and then I decided based on that. So this one, it has, it's mostly cream, but with like, there's some green, you can see there's some red peeking through there. Hold on, slide that out. Pink is more accurate. So this is a skate, so you can see it. You can see the bit of green, a little bit of tannish, yellowish color. There's some purple up top there, hint of yellow. I really like this. I don't know if I'd put it in a shawl or what. I haven't decided yet. Hold on. Come on, don't drink. Okay, usually I do a lot better with this twisting. Let's see how well this will go back around it. And there we go. So those were my acquisitions for the day at the Knitters Frolic. I got to meet quite a few people. Let me just grab my... I actually wrote it down so I would not forget who it was, because I know my memory is faulty. On that page? I was so sure that I had written it down. Here it is. Okay, so like when I first got there, I of course paid my entrance fee to get in. I got there about 9:30. I didn't really have to. Yeah, I got there about 9:30. I didn't really have to worry about the lineup or anything by that point. It was raining for the day and I was kind of worried, but it wasn't that bad. So I got in, I paid my entrance fee, went straight to the desk, I got my knitting bag, I paid for that, and then I decided, let me just do a quick walkthrough of the showroom. And the place was packed. There were so many people. Like the first place that I saw was, I think, the Purple Pearl. They had a massive lineup. I saw Red Sock, Blue Sock. Still didn't end up getting anything from them. Lots of people. Is it Red Brick? Or no, the Blue Brick. That place was packed. There was like no way to actually get in a chance to even glimpse what they had. It was just way too many people. So I continued making my way through the first room, and then I went to the second room and I saw a bunch of other stuff. And I made my mental notes as to what I wanted to go back and look at and that kind of stuff. I came out to get a bit of a breather because there were so many people. I ended up meeting someone. Hold on, her name was Sherry. Yes, Sherry. She was volunteering. She actually asked me where my podcast episodes were. I told her I was going to do one this week, and I'm doing it right now. So hi, Sherry. Thank you very much for coming up and seeing me. I also met Denise. She was telling me how she dies with her children. I thought that was really nice. So it was nice to meet you too. And I also met another podcaster named Lori from, hold on, I still have to go check out her podcast, called Intuit Knit. So it was really nice to meet her too. I met a few other people. I did my best to try and remember people's names, but I didn't really remember everybody because honestly, my memory sucks sometimes. So I went back and I got a snack. I sat down there while I was trying to write down the stuff while eating my cheesies, which I got complimented on because apparently I didn't get cheesy dust all over the place while I was knitting my socks. Got to meet some people that way. And then I went back out and I bought my yarn. And after I finished purchasing my yarn, I ended up seeing Sarah from the knitting podcast, from the Canadian Knitter podcast. I saw Lynn and Sue from the Two Tangle Skeins podcast. I ended up seeing Jess from the Sarah Nova Crafts podcast. And Sarah's aunt was there as well. I met Sarah and her aunt last year. So this year was my first time actually getting to meet Sue, Lynn, and Jess face to face because we've talked via VKN, quite a few times. So it was nice to actually get to meet them in person. We all went to the podcaster meetup for about 12:30. We hung out there, we talked, actually got to meet each other and that kind of stuff. Lori came and joined us as well. We got to meet the two girls from Knit One Geek 2. I'm telling you, those girls are hilarious. Every time I meet them, they make me die with laughter. I have their pin from last year. And I decided they had another one this year. I don't know if it was theirs or if they just happened to get a bunch of them or what, but I thought it was hilarious. It suits me perfectly, which is weird is a side effect of awesome. Totally agree with you guys. It was one of those taglines that me and my friend had when we used to work back at Old Navy back in the day. So yeah, those are all the people I met. And by about 1:30, I said, okay, you know what? It's been a long day. I'm ready to go home. I don't really have anything else that I want to buy, and I've seen pretty much everything. So by about 1:30-ish, 1:30 to 2, was when I decided I was going to go home. So yeah, took the bus and went all the way back home. And that was it for my frolic weekend. I think it went pretty successfully for the vendors and that kind of stuff. I heard the Blue Brick the purple. There was an exclusive colorway for the Indigo Dragonfly. Yeah, that got sold out in like 2 seconds flat. Blue Brick had the long line up the entire time where I heard people say, you join the line and as you're going through the line, then you start looking at the product because there's no, otherwise you'd be there forever. Sorry. So that was everything that happened in my past few weeks. I did get a few new acquisitions. They're not, well, one of them is knitting related, the others are not. Okay, so the one knitting related one I got was this book. I saw it in a magazine. One of the ladies from my knitting circle brought it for me, brought the magazine for me to look at, and as soon as I saw it, I ordered it on Amazon. I didn't want to wait. So this is the Japanese Knitting Stitch Dictionary. It's originally by Hitomi Shida, but it was translated by Gail Rowan. So I went flipping through this book, and I spent almost every other pattern. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Oh my gosh, that looks lovely. I want to try this. I need to do this. So I'm really happy that I got this book. It cost, I think it was just under $25, including taxes. I have Amazon Prime, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. And it got to my house within a couple days, so I think it's worth it. If anybody is from Toronto and they have the Toronto Public Library's Overdrive, it is available on there as well if you want to look at it digitally to see if whether or not you'd be interested in the book. Let's see, what else did I get? I have recently gotten into fountain pens. When I say recently, I really do mean within the past month. I have a pencil case. Yeah. So the first one that I had gotten, I still need to figure out why it's doing what it's doing because it's currently leaking on the inside, hence the reason I'm not opening it up. It's a medium tip, Jinghao, I think is what it's called, is a brand name for it. It's a medium tip fountain pen. I'm just going to leave it like that because every time I open it up, I have to wash my hands to get the ink off my hands because I don't know why it's leaking. And one of these days, I'm starting to think that the cartridges are loose, but until I fill it up with something else, then I'm just going to let it stay. The second one that I got, this one I really, really like. This one is a Pilot Metropolitan. It's Pilot Metropolitan Retro, I think, from the Retro collection. So here is the pen, if you can see it without all the shine. So it's a fine tip, which apparently there are European versions of fine and Japanese versions of fine. This is the Japanese version of fine. It's very thin, and I like the way that it writes. I don't know what I compare it in size to, because my writing preferences for pens is usually about like 0.3, maybe a 0.5, so millimeter. So I think this is smaller than a 0.5. I don't know if it's as small as a 0.3, so it's somewhere around there. But I really do like this. Because I'm impatient, I also went and I bought ink, because at the same time I ordered this, I ordered an orange ink to go with it, but it's because it wasn't under Prime, it would take a bit longer. So I was at Michael's, and I got this ink, and I didn't want to get another orange because I knew one was coming. So this one is from Jane Davenport. She has a line of pens as well, but I wasn't really interested. So the color, as far as I know, that's called Violet Syrup, which is that. So it's got the ink inside there. Eyedropper on the thing to help fill it up, but you don't even have to do that with most of these pens, I guess. But the one that I really wanted, once the amount of ink that's in this pen runs out, I'm going to put in the, either I'm going to put in an orange pen, either that, orange ink into this pen, or I'm going to buy another pen and just put the orange ink into that one, because that most likely will be the case, because tomorrow I'll be making an Amazon order. I love these things far too much. So, but along with that, I'll probably put an order for ink and all of that kind of stuff. So I've fallen down a new rabbit hole. My bank account's going to hate me for that. So that is pretty much everything for all of my new acquisitions in the past month or so. And there probably will not be much of new acquisitions for quite some time. I realized I forgot to show off something that I did want to show off. I dyed a skein of yarn maybe about a month ago. So hold on, let me get it. So as a refresher, I had talked on my last episode about mini skeins that not mini skeins because these are about 50-gram skeins of yarn I dyed based on the method I learned from the Craftsy class by Sarah Iyer about dyeing solids and that kind of stuff. And I came out with these 3 skeins, right? Love them. Think they're all beautiful, and I'm looking forward to doing this again, right? they're, to me, well, with the exception of this middle one, they're about as solid as you can get a solid to be for hand dyed, in my personal opinion. It turned out great. I found one more. I had one more skein that I had to detangle from a big old ball of mess. It took about 2 days, off and on during 2 days to detangle it, and then I went to work. So with this one, these ones were just single colors that I used to do this. So I just used one dye powder to do that one. This one, I threw it in the pot with the leftovers from one of the previous skeins, and then afterwards it was still otherwise just a single color. With this one, I mixed two together to get this color. I don't know if you could tell, it's a purple. I'm not certain if you can see that. I really got to work on my lighting. If I put the blue up against it, will it show a little bit better? I don't know. So this is I don't know. I gotta understand this lighting issue. I don't understand any of this. So it's a kind of a muted purple, but it's still pretty dark. When I say muted, it kind of feels like it has a little bit of a grayish undertone to it, which could be the case, but I like it. I really do. I actually want to make myself like a sweater full of, like, do a cardigan in this color. So my plan hopefully would be to order enough skeins to do like a sweater based on one of the patterns that either I already own or is in my library, or that is in my queue to be done that I've wanted to do for a while. I have a couple of them that are DK weight, and if I could get this color again, that would be awesome. So I'm looking forward to trying that. So that's it for what I dyed. There was at least one more thing, I think. Talked about all of that. If there is anything else. Oh, right. No, I remember now. I have these socks. This is one of the first yarns that I dyed and knit into a pair of socks. This is my first experience with BFL. So I took them out of the wash today. Not today. This week. And let it be known, I put all of my socks in the washing machine, and I usually don't have any issues with them. None of them come back over felted or anything like that. As an example, take this one. This one. Threw it in the washing machine. For me, it turns out fine. It doesn't shrink. It doesn't shrink, doesn't felt, doesn't do anything. I don't know if I did not pay attention to what this one was made of, because I've had this sock for about 3 years at least. I made it in the same time I made my my first Spock sock. So that actually then that's 4 years, because I made those in 2013. Yeah, in 2013. So I've had these for a while. But here's the problem with it now. I don't know if you could tell, but it actually looks like it's starting to felt. I noticed it the other day when I was flipping my sock out, and I just basically was pulling stuff off. And then when I looked at the bottom, like, it feels like it's a tighter knit. This is like the inside. It feels ridiculously soft though because of it. But I'm starting to think that this sock is felted. I don't know, like, because you can't see the crisp, clear details that were there before. Like, you can't see the stitch definition anymore. It's looking very fuzzy. You can barely tell that there's lace in this sock in comparison to other stuff that I've done. Okay. Take this one, for example. This one's even older, and you could still see the detail in it, right? In comparison to this one. So, I don't know. I still like it. It's still warm and fuzzy, but I don't think I'd wear it any other time other than in winter. It's pretty much what it's working out to be. But it's becoming like really nice and fuzzy, but I think it's felting. I'm just not sure if it is because I've never really dealt with felted products. Felted projects. But yeah, that was my whole reason for putting these aside, was to, I guess in a sense, to ask is, does it look like it's felting? And if that's the case, is it okay if I still throw it back in the washing machine, or will it shrink back again? I don't know. That's pretty much my only questions. Put that one back. So that is actually going to be everything for today. We'll probably do another one next week. I don't know when next week because they haven't given me my work schedule. Sorry, there's something on my screen. Because they haven't given me my work schedule yet for next week. So I don't know exactly when I'm doing anything. So, you know what? That's it for now. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.